thank you for joining us at Wax Acres. I love coming out in the morning, even when it's cold, because the chickens are happy to get out of their coop, pick at the ground, even if there's snow. We enjoy feeding them and giving them warm water so that theirs isn't frozen. It's relaxing. So today, we plan on sitting down and planting our garden. I know it's a couple of months early for planting, but it's nice to have an entire plan because then we know how to work our time, when to get the soil ready, when to put the infrastructure up, and it's a good time that Rachel and I can just sit down and share and talk and be on the same page. So, this is a picture of our property. We drew this just on some poster board. You don't have to make it fancy, but it really helps to have an idea of where you want things to go. You'll see the front of our house is actually at the bottom of the page, and that's the hayfield. And that's where we do most of our big planting. And then the other side of the house, we call that the Shire because it's our little peaceful haven where we can hang out with the kids and they run around, play on the playground, and sit on the porch and spend time as a family. So, how do you plan a garden? I think that it's important to start with why. What do you want? What do you hope to gain from a garden? So, we kind of started with, well, what does our family eat? What vegetables do we enjoy consuming? And would we eat them? We've planted a lot of squash in the past, or pumpkins, all to find out that we're just trying to give it away. But then green beans we'll eat forever. So once you figure out what your family eats, you have to figure out what grows well in your area. And the best way to know that is to just find out what zone you're in. We're in zone 7. I think 7A, technically it's a colder zone than just 7. And that means that'll give you a structure of when the last frost is and how hot it gets during the summer, and then when it gets cooler in the winter again, and how harsh is your winter. So what grows here in Western North Carolina? Then we have to figure out if we plant and we can't eat everything that we plant, but we want food during the winter, what kind of food saves well? So that's going to be like your green beans that can well, your corn freezes great, but things like onions only last for a little while before they start to go bad. They won't last all winter. Maybe in perfect conditions they can last a few months, but so that's the next thing that we have to figure out. So we actually have a really cool book. It's called Homesweet, Homegrown, and it can't be more than 120 pages, and it's by Robyn, Jasko, and it has really cool pictures and a really cool infographics, and it kind of tells you, like, here's each vegetable, here's how they grow, and here's how much each vegetable you need to plant. So on page 17, there's a great graph that says how many members are in your family to how many plants you need to plant of each food. And so we kind of deconstructed it by using that method. So this year we intend on planting green beans, cucumbers, and those are mainly for saving, also corn. We're going to plant broccoli to eat, peppers to eat, zucchini to eat, and then we have some sweet potatoes, some spinach, and some kobacha squash from Aunt Laura. And then we have our asparagus from last year that grow every year. And on the other side of the house, so that's in the main garden, on the other side of the house, we're going to plant kind of our quick plants. So that would be any greens, because greens grow and you eat them immediately. And when they're done, it gets too hot, they stop producing, and you don't have to eat them anymore, thank God. And so we're going to do greens, turnips, radish, kale, spring peas, spinach, and herbs. And so that's in the Shire. So with all of that, it's kind of just a good concept of what we want to plant. And then we decided where we're going to plant it based on how much space we have. So, in closing, we really appreciate you guys listening and joining us along in our process of figuring out what to plant. More videos are to come of us actually doing things, not just talking about doing things. So, let's get our hands dirty and get out there.